Hello. Once again, so I filmed the video, posted it, and it got copyrighted. So I'm back again to tell another story time. Now this story time is going to be less explicit because I guess the story time that I did that got copyrighted a while ago was too explicit because it was about a sneaky link. But anyway, let me just woosah because every time I think about things that happen to me between me and another female, especially if it's on the job, I get irritated. Okay, so my first year working at the Bush Airport, this was 2007. So I had a boss. She was a black older lady, like around 53. And a lot of my coworkers were in their 50s at the time. Me, I was 29, and this light-skinned younger chick was 20. She was 20. Now, I don't know why I started hanging with her, started taking breaks with her. In the beginning, it seemed like she was cool. It seemed like she was cool as shit. It did. It seemed that way. Now, my boss, which is her boss too, she favored the light-skinned co-worker over me. So it was some colorism going on. It was. Which was wrong. And in the beginning, me and the light-skinned girl, which was a co-worker of mine, we would hang together. We would take lunch together. Because my boss used to always send me and her on errands together. Send me and her to work at the same area because we had to clean the bathrooms in the airport. So in the beginning, then my boss, Miss Jackie, I'm just gonna say her real name because she's an irrelevant person anyway. The co-worker of mine is irrelevant too. But my boss would always be fussing at me. Would always be telling me that I was working too slow. Oh, it's almost time for everybody to clock out. Why are you still putting tissue in the stalls? You should have been done. And she just would find something to argue with me about every day. Then, one day, my coworker, the light-skinned girl, was telling me while we was on lunch break that our boss, Miss Jackie, was talking shit about me to her, saying that if I don't speed up the pace, if I don't start working fast, if I keep working slow and then not putting the tissue in the stalls on time, that if I keep that up, she was gonna fire me. So she's telling this girl, my coworker, that every single day. Mind you, I finally started to learn how to pick up the pace. That wasn't enough for her. She found something else to try to fuss at me about. And then this lady who was my boss with her messy ass at the time was coming to me and telling me that the light-skinned chick, her name was Giovanni, she just does what she wants. She acts like a little princess. She walks up and down the terminals drinking iced coffee and sodas all day. So mind you, she's telling me this, and I'm looking at her like, because I remember what the girl said that she said about me. So I said, why you won't tell her anything? Because I think if it were me walking up and down the airport terminal, drinking iced coffee with whipped cream and drinking sodas and stuff, you would have had been said something to me. She's like, well, it's no favoritism going on. She's like, well, I will say something to her about it. And I'm like, okay. So I walk off. And she started looking at me funny because I guess she didn't like what I said when I told her, why don't you say something to the girl? Why are you telling me? Why are you talking about her to me? The same way that she told me that you be talking about me like a dog behind my back to her, which is wrong. So she never did tell the girl nothing. The girl still did what she wanted to do. She was still going to Starbucks on break, taking more than 30 minutes, drinking on the damn iced coffee. She was still walking up and down the terminal drinking sodas. And our boss didn't say shit to her. So it's like, what was all that for? What was you telling me all that shit for? That you get tired of her doing all that when you knew you wasn't gonna say shit to her because it was some colorism going on. The girl was a pick out of me and all the other co-workers because she was the only light-skinned co-worker. Everybody else was brown skinned and dark skinned. So she still was letting this girl, my co-worker, do things, sit down during the times that she was supposed to be working, riding on the carts with the cart drivers inside of the goddamn airport, just showing her ass. My boss would see that and she would just look and then give me a look, and I just turn my head because I'm like, what the fuck you looking at me for? You need to go say something. Because if it were me, you would have been said something. So now, a month passed. And one morning, my boss told me that I had to go down these flight of stairs and pack a vacuum cleaner. One of them old-timey, ugly-ass vacuum cleaners that construction workers use in the warehouse or something like that. And that motherfucking vacuum cleaner was heavy as fuck. I had to walk up a flight of stairs. It was like, I think it was maybe 25 stairs. And it was like going like a hill. I had to go pack the vacuum cleaner up and down the stairs. My co-worker, Giovanni, the light-skinned chick, she just arrived to work. She had been sweating, had her hair slicked back, and she had nice wavy curly hair, and she had a bunch of gel. She had her hair slicked back, looked like she had been running a race or whatever, sweating and everything. She ain't speak to me, so I'm struggling up the stairs. with the vacuum cleaner. I was going to speak to her until this bitch took her hand and just pushed on me, and I almost fell backwards on the flight of stairs with the vacuum cleaner in my hand. And I turned around, I said, bitch. She's like, well, you was walking too slow. You needed to put some pep in your step. And then she walked off laughing. So during lunchtime, I didn't eat lunch with the girl like I usually do. I didn't take no 30-minute breaks with her. She clearly knew that I was mad at her, but she didn't care because she was hanging with the cart drivers and everything. And she had a couple of friends that worked in the airport and everything. So I had went and I had talked to 2 or 3 managers. Plus I talked to my boss about the situation. And then they brought her in the office and tell me why, like, this Pakistan lady and this Mexican lady who didn't like me got on the girl's side and was saying, well, it's just horseplay, and if she did push you, she didn't mean it. I'm like, I don't give a damn. I want to write a report on her because I didn't appreciate what she did. And she's like, the girl gonna say, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I take breaks with this girl. I talk to this girl every day. Me and her supposed to be friends. And she's in here trying to turn me in to the feds or something. I'm like, girl, bye. That's what I said. I'm like, what you did was wrong. And you saw me struggling up those flight of stairs with this fucking heavy ass vacuum cleaner in my hand. Well, I was just playing with you. Damn, can't nobody play with you. I'm like, I'm not your age. I don't feel like being played with. My bad, damn. So my boss, me and the girl boss, get word of what happened, and she's asking me and her to explain it to her. Then she's telling me and the girl to apologize to each other. I'm like, what do I have to apologize for? She's the one who needs to apologize to me. But my boss got on the girl's side as well, which I knew she was going to get on her side because she's color struck and she loved the ground that girl walked on because that girl was light-skinned and had hazel eyes. But it's just, I started talking to other people that worked at the airport, and I told them, what do they think that I should do about the situation, because I feel discriminated against because I told some managers what happened. I told my boss what happened. Nobody wants to take my side. For some reason, they want me to forgive and forget and shake hands with the girl. But the point is that the story is not about that, because I did a story time about that, about the girl pushing me while I'm walking up a flight of stairs packing a vacuum cleaner. Pushed on me and I almost fell. And I wanted to swing on her. I wanted to take the vacuum cleaner and knock her out. But I knew if I would have done that, I would have been in trouble. She would have been trying to send me to jail because she would have been injured because that vacuum cleaner was heavy. But, yeah, so, like I'm saying, the point of the story is that my boss it was some colorism going on. And she favored the light-skinned chick over me every single day. And she's talking shit about me to the light-skinned girl, talking about how she's going to fire me if I don't get better at doing things. if I keep working slow and all this type of shit. That was the worst experience. That was the first year of me working at the Bush Airport in 2007 was horrible. Some days I used to go in the bathroom and sit in the stall and cry because I would be so tired. As they would work the shit out of me, and my check was only $300 at the time. But I will never forget that girl, that light-skinned chick, and I would never forget the lady who was my boss. For all I know, she might be in a nursing home now, or something else, because like that woman was a very hellish ass old woman and sitting up there cursing. She was waiting on the metro bus like I used to take the metro bus to go home, and then she was talking to me as if I was one of her friends, telling me that the managers was fussing at her, telling her that she don't make the employees do enough. And she was telling me that I'm getting tired of this shit. I work my ass off at this airport. Fuck no. And I'm looking at her, I just laughed. And I'm like, I was just saying to myself, I'm not your friend, but I was just listening to her because she was frustrated, but it was funny. It was funny to see her upset. It was like, I had never been through nothing like that ever in my life, to be discriminated against because my boss was favoring and had picks and chooses. She was letting a light-skinned chick who was my coworker do whatever she wanted to do. And then she took her aside when me and the girl got into it. But that's my story time. And I hope you viewers enjoyed my story time. Hope y'all found it entertaining, because it's a very, very true story. And this happened in 2007 at the Bush Airport. Hope y'all enjoyed the story time. And until then, y'all stay blessed.